Sellers and listing agents, are you frustrated because the house right down the street sold in 9 minutes with 23 offers and had a line out the door of buyers looking to buy, and now this house just won't sell? You hold it open, and the only thing that gets accomplished is a couple cheesy TikTok videos from the agent and 0 people walking through. In this video, I'm going to explain to you what is happening with demand, show you the true numbers behind the impact of the increase in mortgage rates, but most importantly, show you how to create a win-win, how to make it work for you, the seller, and the buyer, so that everyone's happy. Stay tuned. All right, Matt the Mortgage Guy, residential mortgage broker. I help people finance their homes, 1 to 4 unit residential stuff all day, every day. I talk to thousands of buyers every single year. I talk to thousands of real estate agents every single year. So I think I got a pretty good finger on the pulse of buyer sentiment, what goes into some of these decisions, why buyer demand has fallen, and all that good stuff. Before I get started, if you're looking to get pre-approved with me and my team nationwide, go to greatmortgagebroker.com, fill out the form. We're happy to help. If you're looking to connect with an agent anywhere across the U.S., go to homeandmoney.com/Matt. If you're in Sacramento, California, contact us directly. I want to give you a personal connection to a bunch of great agents I know in town. So let's jump into it. Right now, I'm hearing this more and more, both from my real estate agent partners and directly from sellers. They have got a listing on the market that seems like it should be getting traction, should be selling, and it's not. It's absolute crickets. The first example I'm going to give you is a higher price point that might not land with a lot of you, but don't worry, stay tuned. I'm going to talk about a more reasonable price point in a second. A great conversation I had with a good friend of mine who's got a listing for $1.75 million. While that price point might not, be something that you care about, just listen to the story. This $1.75 million listing is in a great neighborhood. It's a great house, and it just is not getting any action. As this property is listed, another one that's a model match at the same price gets reduced all the way down to $1.4 million. Talking to my agent friend, and we're talking about like, holy moly, do we got to go down 20% in our price to actually get this thing to sell? That's where I was able to give some insight into what the numbers look like. And I ran some quick numbers, and I showed the agent that $1.75 million, just a few months back, if somebody put 20% down and got a 3.5% interest rate, their all-in payment, taxes, insurance, principal, and interest would be about $8,400. Now, that's not for everybody. That's a surgeon or an engineer or whoever that can afford that monthly payment. But buyers are monthly payment driven, right? Fast forward, if that rate has climbed into the 6s, that same $1.75 million purchase would have an $11,000 a month mortgage attached to it, a $2,600 increase. Now, that alone will tell you that not as many people are going to be interested in buying that house at that price. And when I showed him going all the way down to 1.4 million, 20% down, he's still at $9,400 a month, still $1,000 more expensive than that same house at a 3.5% rate at 1.75 million. So you can see how when the rates go up and it changes the monthly payment for the buyer, they're just not willing to spend the same amount of money, right? Because they're payment driven. Now, let me give you an example that probably hits a little bit closer to home because it's more realistic. And with this example, I'll show you how, as a seller or a listing agent, you can propose something that works for both the buyer and the seller. You might have a similar situation where you say, man, this thing down the street sold for $580 in February, in March, in April, whenever it was. And if this $580,000 home had a 3.5% interest rate attached to it, and somebody put 10% down, they could do principal, interest, taxes, insurance, and mortgage insurance, have an all-in payment of about $31.31 per month. Now, As rates have gone up, and we've seen the natural, which there's a decline as we end summer and head into winter, there's a natural decline in the median home price, right? And we're seeing that right now across a bunch of areas. Your house goes on at 550 and it sees no action. You reduce it to 525, thinking to yourself, gosh, this thing sold for 580. What's going on? Well, let me show you the math. If this person's putting 10% down and they've got a 6.5% interest rate attached to it, principal, interest, taxes, insurance. Remember, this is a 525 purchase price versus the 580. Their payment is $36.99 a month. $3,700 versus $3,130. They're paying $55,000 less. Their payment is $570 more, $568 for anyone who's counting. So as you can see, people aren't lining up to pay $568 more per month, even if the house is priced $55,000 less. So what do you do about it? That's the $1 million question. Where can we find a middle ground where the seller is able to sell for a price that works for them and the buyer is able to get a monthly payment that fits in their budget? Because I can tell you, as a mortgage professional, monthly payment is what drives buyer behavior. If I can get to a monthly payment that I can afford, that I can depend on every month, where it's not going to stress me out, that's what I'm looking for. So same 525 listing, you as the seller realize I'm going to have to give some concessions. I'm not going to get 525. Here's where a little bit of creative thinking comes in handy. If you're willing to lower your price by $15,000 to get this thing sold, there's something that you should propose instead of a $15,000 price reduction. Instead of lowering the price to $510 and having the buyer get a 6.5% interest rate at a $510,000 purchase, which would land them at a $35.94 a month payment, instead propose a $15,000 seller credit to buy down the interest rate. And I'm going to repeat the numbers again. If this person bought the house at 510 and got a 6.5% rate, their payment is $35.94 a month. If instead you offered a $15,000 credit but kept the price at 525, same net to the seller. 525 with a $15,000 seller credit is the same number as a 510 sale. Same number net to the seller. The payment, because we can use that $15,000 to buy the rate down to 5.5 for the buyer, is $33.95 a month. $200 a month. $199 for those that are going to do the math between $35.94 and $35.95. $200 a month better to the buyer. And trust me when I tell you, the $200 a month matters. It matters more than ever to buyers in this market. So any questions you have, please feel free to reach out. Leave your comments below. I'm going to do my best to get some of these scenarios into the video so you can see them visually. But if you need to, play this back. If you're a listing agent, you want to share this with your sellers to give them an idea of what's going on, why buyer demand has really declined, has continued to go down as rates have gone up. This is the reason. And I know because I have thousands of conversations around it. Hopefully this was helpful. Again, if you want to connect with me and my team, greatmortgagebroker.com. If you're looking to connect with an agent anywhere across the U.S., homeandmoney.com/Matt. Thanks for watching. And until next time, we gonna see.